CHICKEN. Use the code chicken in the shop. CHICKEN. Use the code chicken.
Guys, the Chicken's here, back today with another Boom Beach video. In today's video, guys, we are going to be going over some starting tech paths and ideas for Season 20. Guys, if you haven't already, make sure you got the code Chicken plugged into the shop. If you are going to pick up instant training for the season, because you're probably going to need it if you want to do well. Also, don't forget to subscribe to the channel and hit that little stupid bell icon, only because we're doing a live stream Monday morning at 3 a.m. Eastern. So that's the only guaranteed way to make sure that you get notified of the stream, is to hit the bell. You can unclick it after the stream if you want, or you can keep it on if you want to be updated for every single time that I post. But, you know, if you don't want to do that, it's understandable. So, all right, let's talk about this. So we got the... we're on the dev build here. We got the tech tree pulled up for Season 20. And, excuse me. So, it's... this season, man, you know, a lot of people are down on it because it's kind of pro-seeker, and not a lot of people, some people are, but I think it's really interesting because we don't have heavy rushing off the start. We have Kavan super early on. We don't have barrage or artillery until a little bit later. Well, barrage is kind of early. We have low building health, which means it's going to be easy to get engine rooms. It's going to be easy to get chests. Yeah, I think it's really interesting. You know, it's a lot of the same stuff, but it's in like really kind of interesting paths, and there's a lot of different choices to make, and a lot of that is right off the start. So it's going to be like, okay, let's just try to break it down. So right off the bat, we have warriors, right? Now, I think that getting the troop health is going to be your best bet for your warrior attacks, because if you don't have troop health, they're going to be running over mines. I think it's going to be very grindy out of the gates, but then we've got some really important decisions to make here. Now, what I think is going to be best overall is if we, you know, not everyone's going to be able to do this. If you have the keys to be able to do it and survive, just get up to barrage quickly, get up to seekers quickly, or get up to bombardiers quickly. This is kind of the money zone right here. I think this is going to be the first tech riding wave that we'll see. If you're able to get up to this fast, and skip everything else, who cares about the other stuff? Because if we get this stuff right here, we're winning every match a lot faster than they're taking our base down. So I think that's vital. Like, these 4 nodes, I think, are really important. So we can get there, I think we'll be doing good. But at the same time, if we take a step back, look at all the stuff between 3 engines and 4 engines. I mean, we got heavies, we got building damage, we got flamethrowers, shock bombs, troop damage, Kavan, boom cannons, rocket launchers, brick, battle orders. Everything here is like a lot of the key defenses and offensive stuff is all right between 3 and 4 engines. So that's going to be really important to get. And it's going to be a really weird meta right off the start, because we have warriors, we have riflemen, and we have Kavan. Now, either a mixture of the 3 or just straight warrior rushing. Now, I'll show you this attack here that I did with OP earlier. I believe he used crystal critters, so we'll show you guys this. But yeah, so it's very important to determine what you're going to do on day 1. Like I said, I think rushing, you know, saving your keys is probably going to be important. But at the same time, you know, if we look at the bigger picture, where we want heavy choppers down the road, heavy chopper bombers, probably going to be the end game, the end season meta that we always see. If we want to do that, we have to get heavies. We got to get these guys. Now, look at how easily the heavies are going to be able to take down these bases and how quickly they're able to do it. So if we have heavy choppers and we do not have heavies, the heavy choppers are spitting out level 1 heavies that are just going to get rinsed really, really quickly here. So OP's actually using crystal critters and Dr. Kavan with the heavies, which is pretty interesting. But yeah, so if we don't have the heavies unlocked, then it's going to be, you know, a little bit harder to use the heavy choppers. So that's something that we got to think about. Is it worth getting heavies early? Also, if we're staying between 3 engines and 4 engines, whether that's due to planning or whether that's due to simply the amount of tech and keys that you have, you know, you don't want to be not collecting chests early on, right? So we might have to unlock a few things that are going to be able to propel us forward. Now, finding the you know, the right mix, so to say, of spending keys and stuff just to get you by until we're able to make that big push into some of the better stuff, that's where it gets tricky. That's where we're going to have to kind of like take our foot off the gas a little bit and just kind of see how everyone else is going, and you know, we got to kind of determine what the meta is and everything like that before we go forward. But this is probably what we're going to see primarily. A lot of right out of the gates. It's going to be a lot of warrior rushing. Now, I have enough keys to get flamethrowers right off the bat, and I finished a rank 24. So a lot of people are going to have just enough keys to get Kavan, and then a lot of people are going to have just enough keys to get the third engine. So that's going to be 3 different things. Now, flamethrowers make warrior rushes a lot harder. Shock bombs come right after flamethrowers, so we won't be without shocks for very long. But this was a really interesting tack here by OP. So what he did was he actually dragged 3 boats of warriors from one side to the other, and then he used them to mine clear. He used more riflemen to mine clear, stagger dropped the last couple boats of warriors, and then simply flared to the engine room with those after everything else had already been cleared. So that's an interesting way to do it, because we have to get creative with mine clearing, because we don't have anything that clears mines until we get barrage, which is, you know, it's after the 4th engine. So again, it's in this kind of sweet spot that we're trying to get to. So yeah, that's the idea. But I mean, everything in here is good. Everything in here is good. You know, we have double boom cannons. Like, the amount of boom cannons this season is insane. 10 boom cannons, I don't think we've ever seen that before in any season ever. So that's going to hurt rocket choppers. That's going to hurt heavy rushes a little bit. You know, but, you know, not at the start anyways, because it's going to take a while, obviously, to get all the boom cannons. But it's going to be interesting to see how it plays out nonetheless. So the biggest thing is building health. So we go back. Where are we going? We go back over here. This is the only building health tech node for the entire season. It's at 50%, which in turn means there's not a lot that's going to stop the Seekers. They're going to be able to rip through engines very, very quickly, as we saw last season. So the problem is there's not a lot to clear mines for the Seekers. We only have the barrage. You know, it does come right before them. Also, we have shock mines before the Seekers. And we don't see a sky shield until a little bit later on. So Seekers at first are going to be pretty hard to stop. I mean, we've got shock mines and regular mines. We got mines, and that's about it, right? Nothing else is really going to put a huge dent into the Seekers. So yeah, that's kind of the biggest thing for this season. So getting Seekers, and you know what goes hand in hand with Seekers. What makes Seekers the best? Instant training. Because if you don't have instant training, you're not able to push as frequently. Typically, a Seeker attack, you'll lose, I don't know, roughly 3/4, 50%, 25%. You lose a lot of your Seekers on any given Seeker attack. You're not coming away with 100% zero troop losses every time. So that bumps up the value of instant training significantly. So I would definitely recommend you guys get it. But that's only if you want to be competitive, right? If you just want to play and, you know, do well, you don't have to get instant training by any means. But, you know, I would say if you've never picked it up before, this is the season to do it. This is where you're going to get a ton of value out of it. So, you know, yeah. So 50% building health. We have 200% gunboat energy. Helps the Seekers again. We have 100% building damage, and we have 150% troop health. I believe that's correct. So all that stuff helps out the Seekers. That's not to say nothing else is going to be viable. You know, I don't want to sound like it's the only thing that's going to work. Other stuff will work, you know, especially as we get later on in the tech tree, and we get some other stuff and some defenses. But guys, make sure you don't get mechs, don't get Everspark, don't do anything crazy. You know, don't get crying ears. Don't do anything silly. Not that you would, but you know, just to be sure. But yeah, it's gonna be super interesting. So basically, day one, I'm going straight to flamethrowers, and then from there, I don't know. I'm going to hold back. I'm going to see, you know, how far I can rank up with that. We're going to play around with Kavan, Rifleman, and Warriors and see what we can figure out with those guys. I'm sure there's going to be some sort of weird meta, you know, with those things that takes over. And then from there, we're just going to figure out, are we getting building damage in heavies, or are we going on the bottom path? Are we going troop damage, boom cannons, grenadiers, 4th engine, and then, you know, in a couple days, getting that barrage, seeker, bombardier, building health quadrant, because that's going to be nice. Actually, we have to get grenadiers anyways, so that's not a bad thing. I hate when they put these tech nodes that are worthless in front of engine rooms. It's very annoying. You know, one, they're expensive. Two, they don't help. Like, but these are perfect spots for gunboat energy nodes, I would say. you know, it's not something that's going to, you know, make you super strong, but it's just like a nice little boost to have. So that's a rant for another day. But guys, I hope that helps you out. I hope that gets you off to a good start. Make sure to subscribe, hit the stupid bell if you want to be notified of live stream. As always, guys, thank you so much for watching. That is going to wrap it up for the video today. Make sure to leave a like if you found it interesting, entertaining, or informative, and we'll see you next time, guys. Check it out. Bye.